here is my update video for my Bloodmage Spark cast on crit character. I've been playing pretty heavily over the weekend, and I think I've got this to a place now where it is quite solid, where I'm happy to showcase the build for you guys. I think currently I'm sitting top 5-ish Bloodmage at level 93, so that gives you a bit of context to how powerful the build can be. It's just really just a solid all-round build, defenses, clear speed, and bossing. Okay, so just before I jump into all the skill links, I'm going to just talk a little bit about how the build kind of plays. So essentially what you're doing is you're casting Spark. Sparks move very, very quickly, they shoot a lot of projectiles, they bounce off things. And they also chain between each other with kind of a fork kind of mechanic that we have on our Spark as well. We use that until it builds up energy from our cast on crit, and when the energy reaches a certain amount, it triggers all of our arcs, which does basically shoots out lightning, and it chains between enemies, does a ton of damage. And then every time we crit, especially on single target, it's going to shoot a lightning bolt on that enemy, and the lightning bolt is going to trigger every crit, and you can get it to around about 3 casts per second. So that's the majority of our single target damage. We also have our Ascendancy, which heals us, so spell damage leeches life with our Zuri Security Gloves, which is really, really handy just to keep life at full at all times. And this leech paired with some decent mitigation from Grasping Wounds, it makes the character just feel really tanky, even at only 3.5k life. This is easily pushable to 4.5 to 5k life, but this is just what I have at the moment. The character does actually feel quite solid defensively, especially because of this note here. And I do find running through mobs, you are feeling a lot tankier than the previous characters I've made with the especially last season's Stormweaver. It's a lot better for that one. First thing I want to do is talk about the skills with the setup. So we're going to go in here, and I'm going to show you the Spark links. So we have Spark with Fork, Projectile Acceleration 3. This is really good with its projectile speed, also applies to proj damage. So that gives us a good bit of damage on our Spark. Mobility is really nice. Efficiency is less cost, and rapid casting. This is kind of a flex one. We don't really need this. This is something I'm going to have a go at a few other things and see what I like the most for that one. Then we have the cast on crit setup, which is this one here. It's still only level 19, and I'm running 3 arcs. I've got 1 level 21 and then 2 level 19s at the moment, with boundless energy and energy retention. And then the lightning bolt links, we have concentrated effect, elemental focus, deliberation, cooldown recovery 2, and lightning mastery. Again, lightning mastery, I'm not 100% sure on it yet. We'll have to see how that is scaling for that one. Alright guys, I'm going to quickly run you through the passive tree. So we have pretty much got this to its final form. There's a couple of flex points that we have in this as well that we can kind of swap around. Basically, we're going to get attributes until we have enough to cast our Spark, which is 157 int, so we're going to get that much int, and then everything else goes into strength. So you can just modify the strength number depending on how much int you have. So we just get these travel nodes, bit of crit here, more crit over here. I'll just go left quickly, we come around here, get Storm Charge, all natural. We're getting all the jewels on the way that we can. And we're getting Bloodmage, and we're getting the really nice crit nodes over here. So Barbaric Strength and Vulgar Methods. And this side, we are coming through, getting more crit, jewels again, more crit chance. This Evocational Petitioner is amazing, you have to pick this up. More jewels, Deadly Force for the Jugular, Wild Storm, Throat Seeker, more jewels around here, Heart Stopping, Heartbreaking. Again, more jewels as we come through to Cooked here. There is some other additional things we're going to take. We might come down here and grab Acceleration. We might also come over here and grab the increased leech amount. I'm not sure yet. Or we might go a different path, but this is the base foundation of the endgame version of the build that I have right now for the passive. For the Ascendancy points, guys, we obviously have to take Sanguimancy first for free, then we get Vitality Siphon, Sun of the Flesh, and then we come around the side here to Grasping Wounds and then Crimson Power. If you were to level this build from scratch, I'm not really going to do a level guide in this video, but what you can do is you grab Vitality Siphon first, and then you grab Sun of the Flesh in that order. If you get the crit first, you really struggle with life. Vitality Siphon and enough damage, you can actually sustain in that early game. Alright, the next next thing we're going to go through is our gear here. So I'll just start from left and then go down. So we have a wand. This one, I hit the double corrupt on it. It's just +4. The main things you need are the suffixes here, so the +4 or 5 lightning, as much crit as you can get in cast speed. And then your prefixes, you're looking for lightning and spell damage. Increased lightning gain is also nice as well. And then as for your sockets, you can do gain as extra lightning, or you can do plus levels. I'm not sure which is stronger just yet. I have not got the currency to try out the levels. Helmets, we have high life. I'm stacking some rarity on this character, so that's why I have that there. But life, crit chance, and a res. We don't need to worry about energy shield too much, but if you can get a bit of energy shield, that's fine. We have the focus. I will talk a little bit more about why we don't reuse the Wrath Pith here as well. So, well, I did actually buy one and try it on, and I just felt like my life sustain was not working the way I wanted it to, especially with 3 arcs going off. So I just decided, how crazy can we go on the shield? And I bought this for about 2 divines, and then I used the new currency to get lightning damage on it as well. And this thing gave more damage than the Wrath Pith without the downside. I did have to tweak the tree a little bit in terms of a couple of points, but I do feel like the focus is the better option than the Wrath Pith at this point. Chest piece, very high ES. We need to have this due to the Crimson Power is going to give us life based on our ES on our chest piece. So that's why we need as high ES as we can on that. We get a life roll, we get some res, pretty straightforward. Well, our rings, we get life. I've got a bit of rarity, cast speed, and res. And then same on this side. If you can spare it, you can get strength instead of a res suffix. Strength is always good to get. You can also get int, and then you can respec nodes on the tree to get more strength. Belt is just capping our res and way more life. Our unique gloves here, these I think are mandatory to play the setup, so you should be trying to get your hands on one of these. I've got double corruption on mine with just some cast speed and some chaos res at the moment. But the leech from critical hits is instant, is really key to what we need. And then boots, we have move speed. You want to get as much move speed as you can, life and resistances on that one as well. Now, there's a couple of key pieces here. The first thing here is going to be the Cry of the Storm, and this ranges from Lightning Bolt 18 to 20. So you want to get one with 20 because it comes with an extra link and it does a lot more damage than the old one. So you do want to try get a level 20 Lightning Bolt, and that's where the majority of the damage is coming from there. On this amulet as well, it's going to critical hits ignore monster lightning res, which deals with all of our resistance pen, so that's really important. And then we have the lightning bolt on crit, so you can actually get this to a point where I have basically 3 going a second, and these are dealing about 200k per hit, so 600k DPS just from the lightning bolt on those bosses, and that doesn't include the arcs or the spark setup. So this is going to be the powerhouse in terms of getting your single target. I've allocated Temporal Mastery for now. I'm probably going to go get it because there's only a couple of points. 1, 2, 3 points, and I'm going to probably anoint, thinking a lightning rod, but we'll see how I feel about that a bit later. But yeah, that is a very key piece of unique that you'll need. The next one here is not as key, but it's very, very powerful. It is the Heart of the Well. I would recommend trying to get one with gain as extra lightning and chance for lightning damage lucky. You don't need to get one as good as mine. I just happened to be looking at those 2 stats, and that one popped up for really cheap, so I picked that up. But you do not need the crit damage bonus on that one. It's just a bit extra. And then all the jewels, you want to have crit, so crit damage, crit chance. Depending on your crit chance, you can sub out for more crit bonus, but I basically got crit bonus on every single one of my jewels going all the way around the tree for that one. Alright guys, those of you that want a bit of a breakdown of all the gear and all the skills and stuff in a nice little place, I have the Maxroll guide here for you. So you can have a look at the passive tree and kind of how I've gone about that. So you can have a look at all the different skills, the links orders that I have, and then also the equipment here as well. Now, I'm going to live update this as I progress. I'm not going to be playing as much over the week, but I might get a few upgrades now and again, so you can come back and check if I've made any changes with that one. I'll put this link in the description for those of you that want to use this as a base. I may create a leveling one a bit later, and I'll put that underneath, but for now this is just my updated one for you guys to have a look at for that. Also, if you want to ask me any questions, I might do a quick stream after this video goes up, so you can jump in and ask me any questions and kind of see the build in maybe a bit of other content. But yeah, please come check out my stream. That is twitch.tv/squishy2244. And if you guys want to see any more update videos, feel free to drop a subscribe on YouTube and you will get a notification when I upload. Thanks, guys.